Hey guys! Hey, I just wanted to do a quick video about something related to the last two videos that I have put out recently. And this video, some may take it as, oh, she's being negative, but I am making this video as awareness to this specific type of abuse or dysfunction, whatever you want to call it. I feel like awareness is not a negativity. I think it's actually very helpful, and helpful is positive. And so for me, awareness is a positive thing to help people get unstuck, because this kind of dysfunction is very confusing for people who are the scapegoat people. Scapegoat and golden child, they're both victims of abuse from narcissistic abuse or dysfunction. It appears that scapegoats have it harder than the golden child, but the golden child is just getting set up to be trained like a narcissist. They're getting set up to kind of be addicted to people pleasing, to selfishness. And so it's kind of sad. But at any rate, this is to help people hopefully become aware. And when you're aware, it kind of frees you, and you can now see what you're stuck in and get yourself unstuck. With both the scapegoat and the golden child, they're both kind of in this people pleasing stuck yuckiness. And so when your mind, as I know, because I've been a scapegoat, what happens is your mind is just like going around and around, and it gets like stuck because you're just thinking, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? How can I make this person love me, accept me? How can I make this person happy? And so you just get in this cycle of just where you're stuck. And so this awareness helps a person, at least it has for me, become free from a lot of things from their childhood, or not in their childhood. It could be from adulthood too. And it helps them become free and see that not everything was their fault, and that they're good enough. And it helps them be able to get out of that people pleasing. And the goal for me is to get into God pleasing. Am I perfect at it? No, I'm still like striving to be a God pleaser, and not a me pleaser or a others pleaser, people pleaser, but a God pleaser. So at any rate, I just wanted to share one of the things that actually came to me about a couple of months ago as an analogy kind of a thing to help a person understand what kind of the dynamics that go on with a scapegoat person in a family, or it could be in a workplace or any sort of group, okay? Or one-on-one person. This was the best way for me to describe what it's like with different types of scenarios, not this specific scenario. So say there's a family function and it's time for dessert. So everybody is going over, and say the person hosting the party is a narcissist or high on the spectrum of narcissistic behaviors. And they're handing out dessert, and there's one person that doesn't get dessert. And that person just thinks, oh, they probably just didn't notice. So, it's fine. Whatever. I don't need dessert this time. So this person invites everybody over again for a family function, and it's time for dessert again. And so everybody's getting dessert. The narcissistic person that's hosting the party is giving everybody dessert. And then that same person doesn't get dessert again. And so then they're like, oh, they must just not notice. And the scapegoat will just pass it off again and be like, okay, no problem, but the next time I'm going to bring it up. So another party comes around, and the host person, who is a narcissist or high on the spectrum, so they're handing out all the dessert, and that one person that never gets the dessert once again doesn't get dessert. So that person kindly and respectfully says, hey, I don't know if you noticed this, you probably haven't, but the last couple of times I haven't gotten a dessert, and I really like to have a dessert. Can I have a dessert too, like everyone else? And now let me go with what a healthy person would say, okay? A healthy person would say, oh my goodness, I am so sorry you haven't gotten dessert the last couple of times. I'm so sorry. Here, have my dessert. And I'll make sure that you get dessert every time next time. And so that person would then get desserts from that point on. Now, a narcissist or someone high on the narcissistic spectrum would say something to this extent. They'd be like, oh my goodness, why do you always have to make everything about you? Why are you always on a pity party? Like, you've just always got to be, there's always got to be something that you say that's not right, or you got to feel sorry for yourself. Like, you just need to get over yourself. Stop making trouble. Can't you see everybody else is happy and you're just bringing everyone down? Like, I can't believe that you always do this. Like, every party you have to do this. You have to look sad, like poor victim you. And I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. And I'm not gonna allow that to happen anymore. You just need to stop this behavior. And they'll say stuff similar to that, or they'll say those things to you, and then they still won't give you a dessert. And then from that point on, every time they host and it's dessert time, they'll make sure that you don't get dessert again, and they'll roll their eyes. And then when you look sad because you're not getting what everybody else is getting, then they'll start telling other people, be like, did you see Christy? She's just always moping. She's always acting like a victim. She's always sad. Like, she thinks that she's not getting what everybody else is. And she's just always like saying, I don't get what everybody else gets. And that person will never say that they actually don't give her or him what everybody else is getting. They don't mention that part, but they just be like, oh, she's just never happy with what she gets. She's never happy with anything. And they'll just spread that around so that everyone starts looking at that person like they're a victim, like they are always making problems and trouble. And then they start having the same attitude. So they start this gossip and they spread it around, and they start getting people on their side and start getting people to look at you as if you've got the problem. But in reality, the problem is truthfully, that person is not getting treated right. That person isn't getting what everybody else is getting. And then they're being portrayed as the wrong person that's doing wrong, when the person who is actually doing wrong looks like they're just this great person, and they've been so patient for so long with this person that just is always complaining or making it all about them, when in reality what's being done is abuse, neglect, or just plain not right. I have experienced over and over throughout my life similar things, not this specific thing, but similar things, as far as, like communication goes, as far as social aspects go, as far as just the love that is given and or not given, just all sorts of scenarios. I mean, it's countless. There's just so many that it would be hard to list all of them, but I feel like this analogy can help a person really truly understand, who's never gone through this, or hopefully people who have gone through this. It will be kind of like this light that comes on and say, oh yeah, that is the perfect way to describe what I've been going through all my life with this specific person or these specific people. And it hopefully will help somebody out there to understand that what they're going through, other people go through, and this is what it's very similar. This is what it's like in so many different aspects of life with these people who are either narcissistic or high on the spectrum of narcissism. And you are not alone. And there are people who have gone through or go through the same things as you, or similar things. And it's not all in your head. So please know it's not all in your head. And if you are going through those things, there is a lot of things out there to help you be able to realize what it is, what narcissistic abuse is, and what you can do to help give you boundaries with these people, how to keep yourself safe, and how to get into healthy ways to be able to communicate. And sometimes you literally will sometimes have to cut them off if it's so damaging to you. And one of the things that I feel like we just read in the Come Follow Me could have been like a family dynamic with Lehi and Nephi and Laman and Lemuel. Like it almost appears like it's got some sort of like narcissistic abuse going on with Laman and Lemuel and Nephi and sometimes Lehi. And one of the things that I wanted to say was I've seen my mom go through it, and I have gone through it with certain people in our lives. And it's real. Like and also, like, as I've been reading from the beginning of this year, it's so crazy, like the things that I was going through and things that were happening in my life, and then also reflecting back of things that have happened to my mom with and to also me with the similar people in our life. It's just so unbelievably crazy how the scriptures come alive, and their stories can be like almost not completely the same, but almost the same. And it helps you be able to know, okay, this is what Nephi did. This is what the Lord told Nephi to do. And eventually God told Nephi that he needed to leave and cut themselves off, unfortunately, with their brothers. Now, do I believe that God's going to tell everybody to do that? No. I do believe that there's a lot of coping skills, there's a lot of communication skills, and a lot of learning of boundaries to be able to have a relationship with people that are in your lives that have high on the scale of narcissism or narcissistic people. But a lot of things that I've read too, many times people just have to cut ties with those people because it's so damaging and unhealthy for them to be in their life. So, and I think we really have to be in tune with the Spirit to know what God wants us to do, and then follow what God wants you to do. Whether that is to keep having relationship with people like this, or like Nephi, having eventually to cut ties with them. So anyways, I am going to do another video or two about similar things to this. I do want to do a video about just kind of the things that with the Come Follow Me. I want to go into more depth of some of the Come Follow Me stuff from the beginning of this year, and things that were happening to me that are just so unbelievably like crazy to know that Come Follow Me just does this. At any rate, I'm going to end this video, and I hope you guys are doing well, and we will catch you next time. Bye.